too hot to be filming an e-bike video, but here we go. Luckily, this bike does most of the work for me. This is the Kingbull Literider 2.0. But you know, one thing that's really helped with the heat, normally these seats are covered in my butt sweat on days like this, but this hole right here provides some pretty awesome ventilation. If you want to see me unbox the bike and assemble it, that's at the end of the video. Florida doesn't have much for hills, so let me take you to the highest one I've been able to find, but I'm gonna put this on the lowest gear. Pedal assist 1. A little bit of a running start, and let's see if I can make it up. Yeah, no problem. Straight up. Not much of a running start. Pedal assist 1. Easiest gear to pedal in. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna tip over just because it's so tall. But the bike did fine. They say the max speed is 20 miles an hour. So I'm gonna bump it up to pedal assist 5, pedal as hard as I can go, and let's see how fast I can get it. Looks like about, yeah, maybe 19.9. 20, there we go. Pedal assist 5, throttle only. .5. But is the max speed really 20 miles an hour? Oh, well, factory default settings, it sure is, but there is a way to make it go faster and turn it from a class 2 to a class 3 e-bike. So I had to ask the company how to change the max speed from 20 miles to 28 miles per hour. The manual tells you where to do it, but it doesn't tell you how. So to get into the menu, hold down plus and minus at the same time. And I need to get a P08. I'm gonna click on the power button until I get there. And I've already changed it to 28 in here, but in order to do that, you have to click on the plus button and enter a password, which is 1010. So to do that, I'm gonna click the plus button again. I got a 1, click the power button again, put in a 1, click the power button, and the password is set. Well, it's not set. To actually set it, hold down plus and minus at the same time. The only way to get it to go 28 miles an hour is to pedal. So here is pedal assist 5, no throttle, pedaling. Let's see if it'll work. Well, I got it to about 27.7. Chilling in the center of the rear wheel is the Bafang 750 watt brushless hub motor. This is powered by a battery that is hidden in the frame. The battery is 15 ampere hours and 48 volts. I can tell just by riding the bike that this has a cadence sensor, so it doesn't matter how hard you're pedaling, as long as you're pedaling, it just kind of reacts. So it's really easy to pedal. It's like super easy breezy. It doesn't actually feel like a regular bike. The motor does a lot of the work for you. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like when the motor kicks in. So here is pedal assist 1, and here is pedal assist 5. It's not even a full turn of the pedals before the motor kicks in. And now this is what the throttle looks like. Pedal assist 1 from a dead stop, and here is pedal assist 5 from a dead stop. Every pedal assist level caps at a different speed. So for example, pedal assist 1 caps at about 9.5 miles an hour, 9.6. Pedal assist 2 is like 14.5. Pedal assist 3 goes all the way up to 19.5. So I guess 4, 4, and 5 are all 19.5. To turn on the bike, you just hold down this power button right here until the screen turns on. And from here, it's really easy to use. This is the throttle. Right now it's on pedal assist 0, so the bike's not gonna move, but if I use the plus and minus buttons over here, click the plus one time, now the bike's gonna go forward. There's also a horn. I like that style over the little bells. This is the light switch, on and off. Turns on and off the headlight. And also the taillight in the back, but it is so bright, I don't know if you can actually tell that it's on. Down here, you can adjust the suspension on the front. So right now it is completely open for a bouncy ride. And then when I do that, it's a more rigid ride. Ow, that hurt my elbow. Hopefully this video turns out okay, because I kind of messed up my left elbow. So on doctor's orders, I have been told to take it easy and not do e-bike videos. So I haven't in over a month now. Also, it's really hot. Do I look hot yet? Am I hot too? How are we doing, girls? They drowned. But yeah, I was told to wear a brace when I'm doing this, and this is my brace here. It sucks. It doesn't help with the pain at all. I'm able to move it and everything, but when it comes to picking things up, including like holding this camera, it's a struggle. Like I can hold it like this, but with the pole fully extended and me trying to film the side of the bike, not so much. It hurts like hell. I can't really lift anything with this arm, so I'm gonna try folding the bike anyway. So first the handlebars, there's this little latch here. We're off to a good start, as you can tell by my face. The pedals fold as well, so you just push them and then fold. And then there's another latch right here that I'm gonna have to try to undo one-handed. There we go. That was two-handed. And now I grab it here and fold the bike. If I was strong enough to lift the bike with one arm, this would probably work out just fine. I think you get the point. The bike folds. But right now I need both arms for this. Do not come for me on this. It is way too hot to deal with. You're not, I'm just kidding. It's the max range, according to the company, not tested by me, is 60 miles. So that is like pedal assist one, flat paved ground with you pedaling. Range can also be affected by how much cargo is on the bike. For instance, this does hold up to 380 pounds. The rear rack holds about 150. So that's total 380 pounds for the bike. So if you got that much on there, it's gonna affect range as well. Oh look, my bridge is open again. Let's go check it out, just for fun skis. I haven't been on this thing in months. I'm no longer using it as my hill because it's really not much of a hill. It's like barely any incline. So they got rid of that center area for people walking. It kind of had this like nice non-skid surface. It was a little softer, more grippy, and that is just gone now. Honestly, I think I liked it better the other way. But when it comes to picture taking on the bridge, this is better for me. The temperature is death, so I'm gonna head home. It's too hot. I'm getting a headache. My bottle of water is completely empty. I'm getting a massive headache. It's time to go. So, final thoughts before my inevitable death. I like the bike. It's pretty good. I like how it can tackle any hill. Well, not any hill in my area anyways. I don't know if it can tackle any hill, but it handled that one pretty well. So I'm very impressed with that. I love the fat tires. I love the fact that it folds. And did I show that part of the video? I don't know if I did or not because my elbow is completely shot. I can't lift anything with it, so. It folds though, trust me, it folds. There's a lot of videos out there that show that it folds. I'm losing it out here. It's too hot. I love the screen. It's big and beautiful and colorful, and I can see it whether it's bright out or not. Very user-friendly bike, nice plus and minus buttons. Love the horn, love that it has throttle. I like the motorcycle style throttle instead of like a little lever I push. I don't know if there's anything I don't like about the bike. I like the color. My favorite color is green. This is green. I guess the only thing I don't like is how heavy e-bikes are. They're heavy. So when you have an injury like mine, you ain't folding it. But Even with the elbow the way it is, I can still ride it just fine. And if you have bad knees, you can ride it just fine as well, especially with a cadence sensor. I don't recommend a torque sensor for bad knees, but a cadence like this one where it's easy breezy, absolutely. And I do have one bad knee. I was a cheerleader and we were doing this like stunt where I was in the splits up in the air, everyone was holding me, then the captain said let go, and they did. Just the way I was. I fell right down like 6 feet, more than 6 feet in the splits. That was awesome. So it's time for the cheesy outro. Toodaloo-dee-loo. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Oh yeah, and if you're interested in the bike, I'll have a link down below in the video description, along with any coupon codes. If you don't see any, then I didn't get any. All right, bye. Next up, I'm gonna unbox the bike and assemble it. I didn't realize my microphone wasn't on. I already unboxed all the little boxes, but I got everything right here on the floor. So first up, there's 3 little booklets. One, instead of having everything in one manual, they separated it into 3. So this is just information about the bike. Then this one tells you how to set up the bike, how to assemble it. And then this is a user manual for the display. Straps for the rear rack, anti-theft chain, lock, pedals, and they are labeled right and left on the bottom. There's also a couple of reflectors, which unless they're already on the spokes, I usually don't put them on. Tools. And they're in this little pouch, which is so cute. I've seen knives packaged like this, especially when serial killers whip them out on TV, but I've never seen tools. I like this. I do have knives that are packed. Never mind. There's also this cute little pump, and the attachments are on the bottom. But wait, there's more. There's also these mirrors, but I'm not a fan of aftermarket mirrors. I don't need them. I just look behind me. I feel kind of awkward having the mirrors on there, but there's mirrors. And lastly, the charger. And if you want to see the specs, you can pause the screen. Oh yeah, there's also zip ties. I don't know if I need them for assembly yet, but they do come in handy for like loose cables and stuff. First up, I gotta remove the screw that's right here. So I'm gonna remove it, but hold on to it. In fact, I'm gonna remove this piece, all 3 pieces. Wait, do I need to remove this too? I think so, even though it only shows 3 pieces. Yeah, that's correct. And I just need to put these 2 back. I'm gonna need this lower. They only go one specific way into here. There's a little like groove on the pipe that matches up, but it'd probably be smart to undo the clamp here, maybe loosen it a little bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down, and I think I can still adjust it once it's tightened down because there's screws over on each side here. So I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna be able to move it, but I like to start with things as straight as I possibly can. All right, so now I'm gonna clamp this down. Next, the fender and the light. So the screw for that is already here. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. Screw, washer, skewer the fender, skewer the light, and then skewer the hole. In the back, I'm gonna put on the washer, the nut, and screw everything back down. And the fender also attaches down here. There's a couple of screws that I gotta remove. And then skewer this and stuff it back in there. So this piece should have been down there between the brake pads, but it was just flopping around in the box. Once this is out, you should not hit the brakes. The instructions for this are terrible. It's washer, spacer, washer, nut. I'm not strong enough to flip the bike, so I think it'll be easier if I try it this way first, with the axle already in there. And no, there's not enough tools to do this part, so I had to grab another wrench, because if I just try to tighten it with one, the whole thing spins. So I gotta hold it with one while I tighten it with the other. The left pedal spins in there counterclockwise, and then the right one will go in there clockwise. Well, I don't think I want my handlebars like this, so I'm gonna undo a couple of screws up here and position them the correct way. And then when I have these where I want them, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these 2 screws back down.